Welcome to the Solid Sports and Gaming channel right here on YouTube. You're watching another edition of the Solid Sports video blog. Today's date is February 1st, 2020. Today's episode is 113. I'm Troy West. Thank you so much for joining me once again. Thank you for your patience with the channel. And I appreciate you guys being always supportive. It's been a rough week, as you know, about the Kobe Bryant tragedy. And you can look at my video. I did a video about Kobe a few days ago. I put it in the icon, the information icon at the top of the screen in the right hand corner, the little eye. You click on that, there'll be a link there. You can go watch that again. I'll talk a little bit about him today again as well when we get to our NBA talk. Of course, All-Star Weekend is coming in 2 weeks. They did a format this year to honor Kobe Bryant. We got some baseball news as well. We're going to run through that. Dusty Baker gets hired by the Astros. And some trade around. And NFL, of course, you know, Super Bowl 54 is Sunday. I preview that game, give you my thoughts on who I think going to win and how I think the game's going to turn out. From Miami, Florida, tomorrow. So excited about the Super Bowl. I always be excited about the Super Bowl, even though it feels a little different this year. And more. We'll talk a little bit about Tom Brady as well today. And I'll give you an update on what's going to go on with the channel and everything, as I always do every week. And thank you guys again for joining me today. Let's go ahead and start with the baseball news. I always like to get baseball out the way, because baseball, at least a lot of people that I talk to, is not the most popular sport. But like I said, I grew up loving baseball, and I still love baseball to this day. But I just mentioned that Dusty Baker, the Astros will turn to him now after this, after the turmoil they've been through with the side stealing scandal. Can they move forward and still be competitive in the American League? I guess we'll see. And Dusty Baker, not a bad hire. I don't have a problem with it. And even though I'm not an Astros fan, I don't got a problem with Dusty Baker being the manager. Dusty Baker is a respected manager in this league, a respected person in baseball, period. Of course, managed, I think the Chicago Cubs job was his last job a few years back. Of course, close to managed the Washington Nationals, of course. Known for the manager of the San Francisco Giants. He led them to a World Series appearance in 2002. A long time ago. And this Astros team, at least supposedly, is World Series ready. Even though they lost Garrett Cole in the offseason, they still got Justin Verlander there and Zach Greinke there, so still a strong pitcher staff. Lineup is pretty potent as well, but we're going to see how the lineup do. I think they're to be watched this year, now that they don't have the side stealing scandal to help them. Whereas Altuve, as good as he say he is, well, not say, but as good as everybody think he is, Carlos Correa, Alex Bregman, all those guys, can they still hit the ball well as they've done without this scandal now to back them up? So we're going to see. That's going to be the most. The Astros are going to be the most watched team this year. Them and Boston in another way as well. We're going to be able to talk about the Red Sox in a minute. They're going to be watched. Houston's going to be watched. I think if they fall, well, if they don't do well this year, then they're going to turn right back to the scandal and say, well, the scandal propelled them in the first place, even though the perception was before this happened, the Astros built it from the ground up, of course, drafted well. You know, they was pretty much the worst team in baseball for a couple of years. Excuse me. And turned it around, won the World Series, got to another one this past year, and lost in 7 games to the Nationals. But as far as to get back to Dusty Baker, I think it's a good hire. I like Dusty Baker. I think he just, you know, one of those managers just never got over the hump. And, you know, kind of remind me of Buck Showalter, who Houston was strongly talking to, but they decided to go with Dusty Baker instead. And so we'll see how this turned out. It's cool. You know, so a lot of eyes going to be in Houston this year. But I think it's a good hire. I think they had the press conference yesterday. I think I seen a clip of it. He was just saying we got to move forward. And that's all you can do, you know, after a scandal like that. But I think the first side of failure is going to be a test because everybody's going to come out and say, well, see, y'all wasn't never really that good. Y'all just was cheating the whole time. So, and that's why I respect the Patriots so much. To talk, you know, the link, the Patriots with this, and also they was talked about. And Patriots still won, regardless. You know, I'm not saying they, you know, I would just go with Spygate, forget the Flake, because the Flake to me don't mean nothing. You know, even if Brady really did it, it don't matter to me. But anyway, Spygate, you know, them taping practices and all that stuff. They still won on a win. They people still say, well, they ain't with no Super Bowl, but they still was a consistent winner and was competing every year after that. And they did win 2 more years later, but they still have won 2 more Super Bowls since then, or 3 more actually since then. So we'll see how this turns out. I think, like I said, this year, people will be ready to jump on them, especially if they start off slow this year. And me right now, you know, the next couple of weeks, I'm gonna be doing some lists about who the best players in baseball is and things like that. And you know, I'm gonna probably have a special baseball preview in about a month or so. And I don't know about Houston. I don't know. I think they still will compete for the division, but I think Oakland and now the LA Angels would have had something to say about it. Seattle and I don't know, Seattle got a decent team out there as well. It's a team I'm missing though. I hate when I blank out with these things. Or is it just 4 teams in the division? No, it's 5. Seattle, Oakland, LA Angels, Houston Astros. And it's another team out there. It's not coming to me right now, which is a shame. I hate when I do that. Even though I ain't write no notes down about the video, I think I was gonna talk about the AL West, but I don't know. It probably come to me after a while. But like I said, the Oakland A's, the Angels, the Mariners, Astros. It's another team that's gonna kill me that I'm not remembering. This team is. But anyway, let's go move on. It's a good hire for them. Hopefully the team will come to me, but it's just not right now. But I mean, I think that division is going to be much more competitive. That's basically my point with that. Houston I think, like I said, I think the Angels and the Oakland, I think those teams particularly going to have something to say about that division. Some trade rumors going on in Boston. Of course, Red Sox is the other team that's been looked at with the scandal. I think they're still being investigated. So some more details about them could be coming. But Mookie Betts, of course, just got a record-breaking arbitration contract for 1 year. I think $28 million. Boston looking to trade him to the Dodgers. There's real serious talks, as I read in the article. A lot of trade scenarios, and some of them could include the left hand of David Price included to go to the Dodgers as well. So that's interesting. Dodgers already probably got to be one of the favorites coming in the next year as well in the National League. And to add David Price with Kershaw and Rich Hill and Ryu and that pitcher staff, they got a good pitcher staff, and then their young players coming up. Should be good for a while. But if they make this trade, I don't have to really give up any of those guys. Mookie Betts is a good player, and I think that would be significant for the Dodgers. So the Red Sox side, I'm guessing maybe they try to break everything down, you know, not necessarily start over. But if I think they do this trade, it's a raise some eyebrows. I just think they just don't want to pay Mookie. I think that's part of what it is. Because next year it'd be up for contract again. And if he have another good year, that probably put pressure on the Red Sox. So I'm getting the Red Sox just don't want to pay him for some reason. I think that's what the motivation is behind this, in my opinion. Looking on the outside, looking in. But it's an interesting trade if it goes down. Now, they didn't necessarily say the trade was close, but they said it's serious. Like, this could really happen. So, something to look out for in the next couple of weeks, I guess. But if David Price included in the deal, I think that's a big blow for the Red Sox. I think they pitchers suffered. Chris Sale, can he bounce back? But other than that, they got an average pitching staff, especially if they lose Price. So we'll see how this turns out. I keep an eye on it. Something happened, of course, we'll be on again next week, and I'll give you the news and my thoughts on the trade. But that's interesting. I just think they just don't want to pay Mookie Betts his money. I think that's why Boston trying to move him. But the Dodgers, this would be the rich get richer though. Like I said, they are already a great team. Probably going to be a favorite to come out of the National League again. So this would be a huge trade for them. So I see why they're doing it, if they able to pull it off. And one last thing to finish our baseball for this week. Curtis Gratterson has decided to hang it up. He retired officially yesterday, I think it was. Of course, he's more known to me as a Detroit Tiger, but he bounced around the league the last few years. New York Mets. Where else has he played? He played a couple of different places though. But Detroit is the place he'd probably be more known for. Congratulations to him. I mean, I say congratulations because he had a great career. Didn't win a World Series, but still had a great career. And in his heyday, he was pretty good. Hope you enjoy your retirement, Curtis, and thanks for entertaining us for 16. He had a 16-year career. I do remember that. But he moved around a lot the last few years of his career. He decided to retire yesterday. So congratulations, and hope he enjoys his retirement. Okay, let's get into the NBA now. Lakers had to play basketball last night. Their first game since the tragic helicopter accident that took Kobe Bryant's life, his daughter's life, and 7 other people that was on the helicopter. Lakers did a good job. Watched the opening ceremony, sort of like a memorial they gave Kobe. All the Lakers players came out in number 8 and number 24 jerseys. They did the same thing some other arenas did throughout the week. They left 2 empty seats where Kobe Bryant and his daughter Gianna would have sat to watch them. And I told you to go back. It's in the icons. You go back and look at my video, my blog about Kobe, as I talked about him for a while. There it is. I did leave some stuff out that I wanted to, not necessarily clear up, just to continue the legacy, some accomplishments I left out for Kobe. The Phoenix shot, the game winner shot in game 4, it was, in the 2006 first round. I did find out that the Lakers didn't win that series. Phoenix did come back and win 3 straight, but that was still an iconic shot for him. And the Oscar, I forgot about him winning the Oscar, which is unprecedented. That's probably just as big an accomplishment as his championships. Because with his Oscar, it's hard. I think he would have probably, I think he would have became like a movie director or a movie producer. I think that's was his next step, in my opinion. I think he wouldn't have been just settled with just the little small stuff he was doing. I think he would have been at least trying to get on par with like Ice Cube or all these other movie producers out there. I think that's what the main goal was. Of course, he lost his life at an early age of 41. It's been about a week now, and I'm still sort of like, now I'm in like a numb stage about it. At first I was in disbelief, then I was sad, and then now I'm in like a numbness thing. And then I was sort of like said like last night, like LeBron said it best, this is celebrate. Like I said, all week I've been watching his highlights, his interviews and stuff. And now I still feel sad about it, but I feel, I guess number's not a word because I actually feel something. But I think I'm starting to get at peace with it now. And like I said, I just hope the other families that was affected by this as well, and his family, get able to move on. I mean, eventually never able to move on. And like I said, Kobe Bryant looked at me through my father because my father had our relationship wasn't great, but the thing that always brought us together was sports. Us watching games together, us watching NBA Finals and Super Bowls together. That's why Super Bowl week means much more to me now than it did maybe a few years ago before my father passed away. But this Super Bowl sort of feels like that, like it just don't feel the same. I'm gonna talk about the Super Bowl in a minute, and I don't want to, I was going, I'm talking about Kobe, but I don't want to spend too much time, kind of want to let him rest in peace. But I just want to bring up some of the stuff I've left out, and like I was talking to my sister yesterday about it, because it's the first time I talked to her all week. We usually talk, because I work for her, so we usually talk every. Most of the time it's brief, but I just brought it up. Maybe I think she didn't want to bring it up with me, maybe because she didn't know how I felt about it. But we talked about that, and like I said, the Colorado thing came. Well, I kind of brought it up first, because she said she forgot all about it, and I think some people did forget about it. I don't think you should forget about it. It was part of his life. But like I said, my personal opinion, I think it made him a better person, regardless of what happened. We wasn't there, like I said. But I did go back and read some of the details. There was sort of some grueling details. What the woman said, like I said, we wasn't there, and I'ma still call her a victim because obviously things happened that wasn't supposed to happen, I guess. Well, I don't know, I guess that's what I'm saying, but the details was kind of disturbing, I ain't gonna lie. Sort of like, dang, I hope he didn't do this stuff. But they did settle in a civil suit, and she was threatened by people, her life was threatened, she was harassed. So she still, even just that alone, she still went through a lot. So not dismissing her at all, I just think people bringing it up is just trying to be negative, and but that's just life. Everybody ain't gonna, no matter if you die, like that's a lesson to be learned. No matter if you die, you still ain't gonna get treated nice by people if they didn't like you or whatever the reason was. And I said it the other day. If he really did do that, he deserves to get punished for it or to get charged for it, whatever. I just think it did make him a better person. I think that I also said, I think him having 4 daughters of his own, I think changed him as well. Maybe he wasn't, that, cause now, everybody, well, people basically try, I ain't gonna say they said it was fake, but basically, Kobe started, fighting for women's rights, especially in sports, and a lot of people say, well, that's just, the change his image, more of a strategic thing. I think it was from the heart. That's just my personal opinion, because of his daughters, that's why, I don't have a child, but I also feel like if I did have a child, I'd be a much different person. Because you basically living for that somebody, you definitely really living for somebody. I mean, people do it, that don't have to still sacrifice and do things for people, but when you got a child, it's a whole different animal. That's just me speaking from the outside looking in. I know I'm not a parent, because people always throw that in my face when I talk about things like this. But I think it changed his heart. His heart probably wasn't that great, but I think him having them children changed his heart and changed his way he viewed the world. Maybe for women, maybe he looked around the world and said, well, this ain't right for my daughters. I want to make the world a better place for my daughters. There's nothing wrong with that. But anyway, Kobe, rest in peace, man. The Lakers did a good job. LeBron spoke from his heart last night. Lakers didn't win the game, but it was just good to see them get back on the court. And it was nice to see last night. So, like I said, I picked the Lakers to win the championship. before the season, before any of this happened, before Kobe and all this stuff happened. I still think they could. They might go through a little rut here. All-Star break coming up, so I think they're going to probably sort of take their foot off there. So once, I think after the All-Star break, it's the All-Star break. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. I think it's going to be another emotional basically ceremony for Kobe. You know, everybody showing Kobe they love. I think after that, I think the Lakers will get it a year. They're going to push in the second half of the season. That's just my personal opinion. But I had them winning this year anyway. I just think, really, like I said, I think the Dwight Howard, getting the Dwight Howard that front line, I think that's going to be the difference in the Western Conference and in the finals against the Milwaukee Bucks. I think the Milwaukee Bucks would get there. The Milwaukee, well, I'm going to talk about them in a minute as well, because Giannis don't like what's going on. Giannis think they being overlooked, and they are in a way. But I'm going to talk about them. But let's touch on the All-Star game stuff, because like I said, they made a big change to it this year, just for this year, all the Kobe Bryant. So what I understand, you know, a normal game, 12 minutes a quarter, you know, 4 quarters. It's still going to be 4-12, it's still going to be 4 quarters. Well, if you call the last quarter a quarter, but I'm about to explain it. The first 3 quarters are going to be like normal. But I think for charity reasons, basically it's like 3 little mini games. Like the team that wins that quarter wins it for the charities. I don't know what the charities are, but I think whoever wins the quarter wins the money for their charity. Then when the 4th quarter comes, you're going to add all the scores up for the first 3 quarters, and then whoever gets, the team that's leading only have to score 24 points to win. So I think I see the example that the NBA put out for Twitter. I think it was a Twitter post or something, or Instagram something, and basically they use the example with, say if one team is leading 100-95 after 3 quarters. The team with 100 only have to get to 124 and the game's over. It's no time, it's an untimed quarter. And the team that's trailing, that 95, they would have to get 29, but it would still end up 124 to be a set score to reach to win the game. To honor Kobe Bryant. So the team that's leading will only have to score 24 points. And that's how they're going to honor Kobe this year. I think they're doing something with the jerseys as well. So like I said, that's going to be emotional as well. Whole All-Star weekend is going to be probably emotional. That's why I want to see who's in the dunk contest. I got to look that up. I know somebody's going to do some type of tribute dunk to Kobe. Like you just see already see what's going to happen here. Of course, they gave this in Chicago. Of course, the starters got announced last week. Let me pull that up. The reserves got announced Thursday. A lot of people upset. Some players didn't make it. Let me go through the starters again. So, of course, you know, it's going to be Team Giannis against Team LeBron. Of course, LeBron James from the West and Giannis from the East, but they get to pick anybody in the pool. So the starters got to be picked first. So the starters for the East is Trae Young from the Atlanta Hawks, Kemba Walker for the Boston Celtics. I don't got no problem with that. P.L. Siakam for the Toronto Raptors. Sorry if I messed this name up. Of course, Giannis, he's a captain, so he gets to choose. And Joel Embiid for the Philadelphia 76ers. Now, here's the Eastern reserves. Ben Adebayo for the Miami Heat, his first selection. Jimmy Butler, Miami Heat. Kyle Lowry, Raptors. The Milwaukee Bucks. Domantas Sabonis. Of course, if anybody remember Venus Sabonis from back in the day, he used to play for the Trailblazers. That's his son. He's played for the Pacers. He makes it. Ben Simmons for the Sixers, and Jason Tatum for the Boston Celtics. In the East, a lot of people think Bradley Beal probably deserves to make it. That's probably the biggest name I've seen. And I think so. He's averaging 27 points a game. But I think because the Wizards ain't winning, you know, maybe that's why he missed the team. All these players or these teams, they top 3, 4, 5 in the East. So I'm guessing the winning had a lot to do with that. West starters real quick. James Harden, Rockets. Luka Doncic, who's hurt, man. He messed his ankle up again. So he's out for the time being. So he might not even play in this game. Kawhi Leonard for the Clippers. LeBron James, of course, the captain. So he get to choose on the other side of Giannis. And Anthony Davis. They both Lakers, of course. Reserves in the West. Rudy Gobert, Jazz, Utah Jazz. Brandon Ingram, New Orleans Pelicans. I think this is his first All-Star game. Nikola Jokic for the Denver Nuggets. Dame Dollar, Damian Lillard for the Portland Trail Blazers. Donovan Mitchell for the Jazz as well. Chris Paul made it. Chris Paul, to me, I gotta talk about him more. Probably not in this blog, but I'm gonna definitely have to bring Chris Paul is quietly, man, having a great career. He don't got a championship, and that's what's going to hold over his head if you don't get one. It looks like he's not going to get one, unless he moves somewhere. But I mean, he could just continues to be steady, and to me, I don't know if I should say this, but I'm gonna say it, and I probably have to come back and say he's the best point guard I've ever seen, like pure point guard. I grew up in the Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd to me was pure point guard that I like. But Chris Paul, I mean, if you mix it with this, and he sort of came, he came in with LeBron in 2003, so they sort of, kind of was, looking at the old era, and then probably faded into this new one. And he can score and he can run the point very well. I mean, he's just all around point guard. And I'm saying the best I've ever seen. I ain't gonna say the best ever, the best I've ever seen. Like, he just, it's remarkable. He makes it again. And Russell Westbrook for the Houston Rockets, of course, gets a nod. The Western Conference, some stuff. I don't think it's the many big stuff. They say Paul George, but I think Paul George just ain't played enough this year. Devin Booker name was thrown out there. Like I said, Phoenix, they don't win, so they're the two biggest snubs I think I heard from the West side. But there's your reserves. And like I said, I mentioned how they're going to change the game this year. They got it. I'm looking at the, oh, actually, this was, oh, well, yeah, it was a tweet. It was on Twitter. Okay, but yeah, you could go look it up as well and look at the format if you didn't understand my interpretation of it. But basically, it's going to be on time fourth quarter. So it's going to be interesting to see. Like I said, I didn't think I got used to the captain format, but I kind of like it because it kind of evens the team out. Because you heard all the East people I named. You probably don't even know half of those guys. So it kind of evens out the talent and makes it maybe a much better game. Anything else here I need to see? No. And I don't think Kyrie Irving made it either. That's a big name that was left off. Let me see. Nope. He ain't make it either. But I think, cause like I said, I think because he didn't play that much this year. But if you go by, if he didn't go by popularity, if it was voted by the fans again, he probably would have made it. So yeah, that's what I want to get to. The captain's draft is the 6th. So that is next Friday. Yeah, next Saturday, I think. That's what's the day, the 1st. Oh, well, it can't be next Saturday. Next Saturday's the 8th, so that's a Thursday. So Thursday. So probably on TNT. TNT probably do it. They had the draft, and we didn't know who the teams are there. But it's gonna be interesting. Like I said, I love NBA All-Star Weekend. I think it's the best All-Star festivities if you look at other sports. Like I said, so that's gonna be interesting. But like I said, it's gonna be emotional because of Kobe. If they go to honor him one more time. All-Star Weekend. All right, now let's get to Giannis. Giannis Antetokounmpo, one of the captains of this year's All-Star game. Milwaukee Bucks forward. Came out and said he's pretty pissed off that the Bucks are getting overlooked. Bucks are number 1 in the East right now. like I said, I believe in Milwaukee. I believe them to get to the finals for sure. I think everybody else is in the East got just little flaws. I think Milwaukee can get over. I think Philadelphia is that next team, and maybe got a chance. The Raptors is quietly having a good year again, and the Heat as well. Miami, like I mentioned with Jimmy Butler, but I just don't see any of those teams being Milwaukee in the 7-game series. Toronto was able to do it last year, but I think they only was able to because they had Kawhi. They don't have Kawhi to stop Giannis this time. So I think the Bucks should be strong enough to get by this time. Like I said, Miami is a team to watch just because of Pat Riley and that championship pedigree he brings to the table with Eric Spoelstra. So that's more of a coaching standpoint, but on the court, I still think Milwaukee has the edge. Like I said, the Sixers enjoy Embiid. Reach the next level, so if Ben Simmons as well. A lot of people picking Philly maybe to come out the East. I don't blame them. You know, they probably got the most talented team. But I think Simmons and Embiid still have to level up a little bit. My submission to Heat. The Raptors, like I said, they're just too short of talent. I think Kyle Lowry and PL Siakam. Now I said his name right now. You know, can they do it? I don't know. I'm not sure about that. Pacers is a quiet team to get Victor Oladipo back. But like I said, in a 7-game series, I think they're just not good for a 7-game series. And everybody else is pretty much on the lower totem pole. The Nets. There's rumors of they looking to make a move for this year because you know Kevin Durant will come back to next year. I think they're going to be a full move team next year with Durant, but this year I think they might be a one and done team. Orlando just don't have enough either, but I think they roll it as a team though. Might be forgetting some teams, but that's the cream of the crop in the East. But Giannis, you know, until you do it, you know, you always going to be overlooked. Especially in the NBA. Once you do it that one time, then you had the credibility for the rest of your career, trust me. I think that's why people still doubt the Bucks last year. Last year I had Boston coming out the East, but they stumbled a little bit. And Boston is a team I didn't bring up, but they, you know, they're capable of it, you know. I just think they front line need to be better. I think on the outside, they got guys, Tatum, Brown, Kemba Walker. We'll see. It's just going to be interesting in the second half of the year in the East and in the Western Conference. So that's it for the NBA for now. Guess what? It's finally time to talk about this weekend, the biggest game in the world, Super Bowl 54 from Miami, Florida. Tomorrow, 6:30 kickoff as the San Francisco 49ers represents the NFC against the AFC, the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs is a 1.5 point favorite, which is that's a weird spread to me. It just is. So I will give you my thoughts and my previews on this game. Let's start with the 49ers. 49ers to me, people said it and I agree, they've been the best team all year. Steady, 13-3, probably had the roughest schedule in football. In division with Seattle and the Rams. Then they had to play the AFC North, play the Ravens. They lost here. Steelers, even though they made the playoffs, it's a tough team. Browns, even though you know they stumbled. It's a tough AFC division to play. They played the Vikings in the regular season. They played the Packers in the regular season. Like they played every team. The Saints, they beat the Saints on the road. So they had a real tough schedule. They got through it with 13 wins. It's remarkable. And the 3 losses, the Saints game they lost by, they won that game, sorry. They lost the Ravens game by a field goal. The Falcons game was a weird blue. The Falcons are good, you know, talent-wise. The Falcons was one of the most disappointing teams for me last year. So that wasn't a big, you know, like, oh my God, they fake loss to the Falcons. And I forget, and then Seattle beat them. The 2 Seattle games was close. But I just think they come in here. They're definitely going to be confident. I think the thing with the 49ers is, well, both of these teams, they've never been here before, the players anyway. So I think that's going to be an adjustment. But I think the way they win this game, they got to get that front four have to one more time have to have the games of their lives. Joey Bosa, Buckner, that front line. Can they disrupt Patrick Mahomes enough? Maybe make him make a mistake. Maybe just slow him down just a little bit and let put the ball in Jimmy Garoppolo's head. That's another thing I think. He's going to have to definitely throw the ball more and make some plays in this game. I don't think he's going to get away with just handing the ball off. And I think the 49ers know that. I think Kyle Shanahan know that. A lot of people giving him a lot of praise this week. Even though he's known for losing the Super Bowl, the Falcons 28-3. They, that's been thrown out there. But they said because of his father, a lot of people believe it, on Mike Shanahan. 49 is definitely a formidable opponent. Let's go over to Kansas City now. Let's look at the Chiefs side of it. Of course, I just mentioned Patrick Mahomes, former MVP. They're having a stellar playoff so far. I had to bring the Chiefs back twice, 24-0 against Houston in the divisional round. Then they got off to a slow start against the Titans. They came back and roared past the Titans as well. So what he brings to the table, what the people around him bring to the table. Travis Kelce, Sammy Watkins, Hartman, Tyreek Hill. Just talent all over the place. But the Chiefs defense will probably have their work cut off for them as well. Chiefs average defense, they improved in the last couple of weeks of the season. Can they make a play? We'll see. Like I said, I think the Terrell Suggs pickup is going to be beneficial in this game in particular. But I think their defense can be scored on. So this game has the potential to be a high-scoring game. But I still think if it does, it'll be the Chiefs' favor though. But I think Patrick Mahomes is not going to be slowed down. I just don't see him being slowed down. Everybody's 49ers front line. They would have to be all over him, and I just don't see. I just think some way he's gonna find a way. I think he's gonna make a play. Probably gonna come down to the last 5 minutes of the game. He make a big throw. Maybe hit Tyreek Hill or somebody, Kelce or somebody. I just think it's too many weapons. I think maybe in the beginning of the game, 49ers might be able to get to him. I think as the game wins, I think he will get more comfortable. And they're going to break through. I think they're going to win. I think I picked Kansas City to win the game. I picked them in the AFC preseason. Then during the season, I changed over to the Ravens because the Ravens play so well. And me being a fan, I think the fandom got to me. Ravens go out in the divisional round, of course. So I had Kansas City originally, but I did switch on them. As far as the 49ers, I didn't have them on the radar at all. Well, I had them maybe as a wild card, maybe compete for a wild card, but I didn't have them in the playoffs. So I admit that the 49ers came out of nowhere this year. And like I said, it's going to be up to that defense. The defense is going to have to really grind this one out. But I think Jimmy Garoppolo, the 49ers quarterback, he'll have to make a play. But they said both teams clean health. Nobody's on injury, so that means nobody's injured. So that means Tyler Coleman for the 49ers is back. I think that helps. I think that running game, the running game has to have to show up. I just think eventually Jimmy Garoppolo had to make a play for the 49ers to win this game. You can see this game going anyway. It can be a flip of a coin, but I just got a feeling about the Chiefs. I think Andy Reid is his time. It's been his time. He has to. I just like he has to win this game. Andy Reid got to do it, and I'm rooting for Andy Reid in this situation. So I see the Chiefs pulling this one out. 31-27 is my score. I don't like picking scores, but I see a lot of people with much higher scores. Like I think both teams will. I think the first quarter and a half, I think teams will get off to a slow start. I think going into halftime, that whoever get the run the 2-minute drill, that's going to open the game up a little bit. And I think the second half will be much more scoring wise. I think the first half probably be a low score, and the teams will slow in the second half. That's how I see it happening. And I think the Chiefs will pull it out. 31-27 is my final score. Like I said, this Super Bowl feels kind of dreary. Like I said, with the Kobe Bryant thing hanging over everybody. Kind of remind me of when I watched the first Super Bowl. My dad passed away. Even though my dad and I didn't watch Super Bowl for years together for a while. But the first one, was Super Bowl 48, I think it was. Seattle and Denver, when Seattle blew them out, which was shocking at the time, because Denver went in there, scored all those. I think that's the year Peyton threw the 55 touchdown passes, I believe. So yeah, it feel kind of like that. Just didn't feel right. I feel it could have kind of good about it. You know, I always get say about Super Bowl. I say it all the time. Super Bowl to me is like Christmas to people, or their birthdays and stuff. Like, it's just an exciting time of the year for me. So I'm gonna try to be ready. I had the game on. I'm gonna watch it, of course. I think the Chiefs gonna win though. But the 49ers wouldn't shock me if they win this game at all. Like, they are capable. They're the best team in football. I think that we can see this matchup again, maybe even next year. These two teams will be favored again next as well. So this might not be the first time these two teams meet in the Super Bowl. Alright, so one more thing, just going to touch on it because it's been kind of big news. Tom Brady. Of course, everybody wondering what's he going to do. Is he going to leave New England? Is he retiring? You know, like I said, I watch a lot of my sport outlets, ESPN in particular. I watch other sports outlets about FS1, Fox Sports. You know, I watch them too. But it's like I think he tweeted this. You know, everybody uses Twitter. I didn't know how popular Twitter was. I mean, I know I don't use Twitter. I never used Twitter. I used Instagram and Facebook before, but I never used Twitter really that much. I think I've made an account and just never really paid it no mind. Anyway, he tweeted a picture. It's almost like how Kobe had walked down the tunnel, you know, when he was retiring. So Tom Brady did this pretty much the same concept. So a lot of people had their opinions here and there, and you know, some people say, well, he was just trying to get noticed because it's Super Bowl week and all types of stuff. But it don't mean nothing really. Like, we don't know what he's gonna do. My gut feeling is say he's gonna stay. I just don't see him leaving New England. I just don't. That's my gut feeling telling me. But it's rumors starting to come out. Maybe the Charger rumors starting to get some more momentum behind that. But I mean, only why I don't see the Chargers, because I don't think, to me, it don't make sense because of his age. Like, it's Tom Brady, you ain't gonna turn him down. But they trying to push Phillip Rivers out the door. Phillip Rivers is like 4 or 5 years younger than Tom Brady. So why would you go get somebody that's 5 years older? You know, knowing he only gonna be there a year or two. I think the Chargers are gonna go young. Like, that's just my opinion. I don't see it happening at all, you know. But if it happens, I'd be somewhat surprised. I ain't gonna say I would be surprised, but I just don't see that. I don't see that scenario more, which is another rumor. I see that one more happening because, you know, with the team around them, even though the Chargers got a good team around them too, but I think because Mike Drill was there, they used to be former teammates and stuff. But I think wherever he goes, it's probably gonna be a 1-year deal if he leaves New England. Even with New England, they probably just do another 1-year contract. So we'll see. But I don't take nothing to this picture, like saying it really means something. So I just talked about that because, you know, people have been talking about it the last 2 days. So alright, so that's it for this week. It was a lot to talk about. Like I said, thank y'all for joining me once again. It's Saturday, February 1st. My next vlog will be Friday, what's that? The 7th of next week. That's my next off day with work, so that's what I'm gonna do, the vlog. So I'll be back Friday. I'm gonna have some type of, I don't know, I think I'm gonna do infielders first for like baseball. I'm gonna start doing some baseball lists because baseball season is coming. So I do that every year. Infielders, outfielders, and pitchers. And probably do a relief pitchers list as well. I might have to do them in 1 week, but yeah, so I'm gonna start doing that every week, and we'll talk about what happened with the Super Bowl next week. So and probably more Kobe stuff, most likely. As more people make tributes to him, maybe more information to come out about the actual accident, even though it's basically very rude. More unfortunate, you know, it was foggy. You know, there's a lot of little stuff coming out. And the conspiracy theories, I ain't even going to touch on those. You know, that's just my personal opinion. People say some ridiculous stuff. You could go look it up if you want. As far as the channel, like I said, sorry about the Kakarot project being grounded. It's grounded for now. If somehow the copyrights change and I can post things, I will. I'm not in a position to post anything, so I'll have to scratch that project for now. But today I will be posting some videos, I promise. I got a lot of time on my hands today. Doing some videos today, probably Sonic, Mega Man, Call of Duty. Probably gonna be doing all types of videos today, so just keep your eyes on it. This should post. It's after 10 o'clock, so I'm saying this should post by at least 11:30ish. So it's probably about that time around as I'm just predicting this. It should be before noon. So definitely just keep a lookout. I'll be doing some videos today, some playthrough videos. So just keep your notifications. If you got notifications and all that stuff, you can do all that. So you won't miss a video from me. I appreciate it. Like I said, if you like, you'll definitely subscribe. Like I said, leave comments, especially on these. I like to talk sports with people. So if you have want my opinion or disagree with one of my opinions, definitely feel free to leave a comment if you watch. And I appreciate y'all for watching, period. And I'll be back Friday on the blog. But like I said, I'll be doing videos today for sure. I'll probably try to squeeze in some next week as well. I'm Troy West saying thank you. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy Super Bowl 54. Once again, rest in peace, Kobe Bryant, and everybody else who lost their lives last weekend. His daughter, Giannis, and the rest of the families that was hurt. And thank you for joining me today. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you next time. Thank you.